Hello. Today we will continue our lesson from earlier and begin talking about group communication patterns and how interpersonal communication plays a part in that setting. We will continue to build off of the lessons from the previous week, see how group communication falls under the interpersonal communication umbrella, and what lessons we can learn from this style of interpersonal communication. At the beginning of my class, I want to make sure I lay out the objectives we are trying to achieve during this lesson so we are all on the same page as a class. Our first objective will be to describe how interpersonal communication plays a role in group communication. We will do this by reviewing a specific group communication scenario and how they could use interpersonal communication more effectively. Our other objective will be to explain how interpersonal communication can benefit the group communication scenario provided and to apply interpersonal communication theories to our group communication scenario. We will begin this lesson by reviewing what we've learned in our previous lessons and what theories we have covered. This will help us to apply the previous covered interpersonal communication theories to this group communication scenario. The scenario will lay out an interpersonal communication issues and we will apply these theories and other ways to correct these communication breakdowns. With this class being one of the latter classes of the semester, the method that has been used throughout this course is called the scaffolding method, meaning each class builds off of the next and utilizes the information from the previous class. This class is done in person and will consist of classroom discussions and lectures. One of the best ways to get your students engaged with the material is by conducting classroom discussions with your students. Lecturing at students can cause them to lose interest, so this helps them to bounce their information off one another and create a more engaging experience for your learning community. For this class, I will be using a formative assessment. At the beginning of this class, this is a great time to do a pop quiz, so you can better understand where your students are with the material and if they understood the reading you had them do before the class. In turn, this will help you to motivate your students if they feel like they're falling behind. This will also help you as an educator to see what you can do to help your students to better grasp the material. When teaching any course, you need to keep in mind that the students prefer to learn differently from others, and you do not want to create a one-size-fits-all lesson style and have multiple ways for your students to learn the material. The first way is by conducting a traditional style lecture in the classroom with some classroom discussion built in to mix up the class so your students can interact with each other and not feel like they're getting taught at all class. Another way is by providing the materials and concepts described during your lesson on your learning management system so they can have access to these materials anytime. Both of these strategies are perfect and effective ways to differentiate your delivery from your students. Closure for this lesson is always important because you want to make sure that they retain the information, but also have an opportunity to apply the information from that lesson. Since this would be one of the last classes of the semester, this would be a great opportunity to have students do a final essay project to apply everything they learned over the semester. This essay assignment will be crucial for you as an educator to see how your students apply the material they learned over the course of the semester and gauge their understanding.